In the app of Ashley Madison, we have only one rule. What the heart asketh, the world need not knoweth. For in the freedom of discretion lies all our most delicious desires. Download Ashley Madison today. Blessed are the discreet.
Hi, Leigh.
Hey, how we doing?
We're actually fine. We're fine. There's been some fairly positive news in the news cycle today, so
we've got to take those wins where we can. At the moment,
we've got to take a kind of semi-positive news day, and
otherwise
run with
it all gets a bit Handmaid's Tale, a bit 1984, a little George Orwell, a little dystopian.
Yeah, that's it's just the consistent living in unprecedented times is just really grinding me down.
Kind of for half a decade.
Yeah, truly. Dear listeners, you are catching Leigh at the end of a long working day, at the end of a long working week, and me in a very similar position. So I think it's only right that we've both arrived at this recording with a drink in hand.
Yes. I, like the basic bitch that I know myself to be, hello, Stassi Schroeder of Vanderpump Rules. Thank you for teaching me how to be a basic bitch. I have a White Claw in my hand.
Proud of you.
Thank you.
Which flavour have we gone for?
We've gone for a raspberry. This
Lovely.
White Claw has been knocking around my house for several months, undrunk. And I decided today was the day.
A good home. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. I've just made myself a G&T because I'm bitter, but also kind of classy.
Mm-hmm. I think that we should start opening this podcast for season 4 with like a bright spot in the world that makes us happy.
Would you care to begin?
Yes. I would just like to begin this podcast today, before we dive into season 4, episodes 1 and 2 of The West Wing, by just thanking Alyssa Liu for bringing light to my life in her Winter Olympics performance. I know it'll be a couple of weeks ago by the time that this comes out, but dear listeners, if you have not watched her gold medal winning figure skating performance, it was the biggest thing to bring me joy in 2026 thus far.
It was stunning. And also, I think she's brought back competing for joy.
She's also set queer TikTok alight, which we love to see. She retired from figure skating at 16 and then came back on her terms. Love it.
And I feel like also her dad is an icon with all of the children that he had by surrogate because he wanted to have his own family, but he wasn't married. And I just we love to hear a different story of family,
Beautiful.
This is nice. I like this as an idea. I think my spotlight probably needs to go to Hannah Spencer, who is the new Green MP for Gorton and Denton in Greater Manchester. She is a plumber, and she has
First of all, just a woman plumber. I've got one coming to my house tomorrow.
Amazing.
We love them.
She beat Reform for the seat, and also she has 5 rescue greyhounds.
That I did not know. That is new information to me. I love that.
I believe that it's 5. And she is a woman who loves colour and print. And when you're just and also a great coat. And I know that politics isn't about aesthetics, but in this very grayscale world that we're living in at the moment, I feel like whenever I'm watching the news, it's grey skies, grey suits, grey faces. Everyone's down, down, down. And watching her speak online, she's this burst of energy and color, and she's about her constituents, and she's about making the area that she lives in better. And so watching a lot of her interviews and a lot of her speeches has brought me a little bit of joy recently.
Love that.
In that, people feeling passionate about where they're from and wanting to give back to their community and serve their community. So that's my spotlight.
Speaking of, should we spend 20 hours in America?
Let's. Welcome to Queer Gals Watch The West Wing with Leigh Douglas and me, Fiona Kingwill.
We are back for season 4. the final Aaron Sorkin season. I'm so excited.
I'm really excited. We're watching part 1 and part 2 back to back. So this episode is going to run as thus. It is going to be Leigh and I doing a big episode recap of each one. There'll be no study session this week because we're just going to lean into the content of the episodes as per our patrons' requests.
Yes.
I'm thrilled. I'm excited, Leigh. This is a new section of the DVD box set for me to open.
Yeah.
And when I popped my DVD in, there was a new character on the DVD menu.
And who was that be?
I don't know. It was a man. So there's someone. It was a man.
Who didn't appear in...
No, I've not seen him before. I don't know him. And so he is not known to me. And we will see who he ends up being.
This is a fun character, whoever this is.
Mysterious man. Leigh, should we dive in?
4 more years. Fiona, I am chanting 4 more years.
We are in part 1 of 20 Hours in America. We have a previously on, which is helpful, but which is just mainly R.I.P. Simon and a spotlight on Jed's decision to go ahead with the assassination.
Yeah.
We open on a blank screen with chance of 4 more years in the background. I'm hyped.
I'm pumped. I'm psyched.
We are on the campaign trail, baby. The graphics are kind of like increments of Jed's day, like some sort of itinerary.
I was like, are we in a scheduling and advanced planning world? But then I noticed later in the episode that it is in fact in past tense, which makes me think, they keep like a log of what the president is doing. This was fun, but also I felt ominous.
Do you know what I mean when you're like, I am worried that also this is like information because we're going to like give testimony.
Why is this like being used as evidence?
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think we're going into like a really stressful day in the Bartlet administration. But Jed's got his shirt sleeves rolled up. He's cracking jokes about farms and holes, and he's next to a cornfield.
He is killing it. From a stand-up comedy perspective, he is killing. He has that crowd in the palm of his hand. Just a special moment for, I've probably tested the Constitution as far as Abby will allow me for a little while.
Because he references that someone in the crowd has a placard that says 8 more years.
Triggering.
Yeah. In 2026. Scary. Can we talk more about where we are, Leigh?
We are inside an Americana fetish fantasy. And I, for one, Fiona, am loving it.
I love to be out in the fields.
Yeah. And I agree with Jed. We did need to find energy alternatives 25 years ago. You know what I mean? I will say there's a lovely callback in the writing here from Sam/Toby, although it does feel too earnest to be Toby, which makes me think that the callback to the filling of the holes with water is a Sam piece.
I think so. I really enjoyed the filling the holes with water Republican sort of slant on it. But I think that some Americans perhaps aren't smart enough to know that the hole is being filled with water by the Republicans. Would be my take.
I think that it's maybe not a question of smartness. I think it's maybe a question of
a lack of information being provided.
A misinformation campaign of several decades from the Republican Party, which began, let's be clear, long before Trump. And I think possibly just a lack of investment in education, really.
Yes.
Yeah.
Smart was the wrong word. I know exactly what you mean. Yes.
But CJ is in a stunning grey pantsuit.
Where are Josh and Toby?
They're in a soybean field with Kathy.
Let's go to this soybean field.
What I will say is, if I had to think of the 2 most metropolitan men that I could possibly imagine, they would be Josh Lyman and Toby Ziegler. So the opportunity to see them in a soybean field was a gift.
And that is where this episode begins its kind of triumph, which is take 2 men out of DC and keep them out of DC for as long as possible.
Oh, it's beautiful. I will say the print on Donna's shirt is telling me that we have firmly reached the 2000s here, fashion-wise.
We really have.
Yeah.
Jed kind of finishes off his speech with, "This is a time for American heroes, and we can reach for the stars."
In the words of S Club 7.
Yeah. Pop off, Jed.
Pop off.
Like, it was good when we had hope, right?
It was great.
Remember when we had hope?
Yeah.
Quite literally the slogan of Obama's campaign. You know, when you're like, that's crazy that in 2026, that word feels like out of bounds in terms of what we could achieve politically.
That word feels like child's play. That word feels like incredulously naive.
Right? You know, I feel like if we were like, let's run on hope, people would be like, okay, you need to calm down because there's actually some real shit going on.
Yeah. Some extras in this scene absolutely giving it socks. Just wanted to take a moment for the extras really giving their moment here in the crowd.
Actors really, it was a big day out. Big day on location.
Yeah.
Kathy is Amy Adams.
What the fuck? I'm sorry. Amy motherfucking Adams. I'm sorry. Only one of the best and most transformative actors of her generation. The woman who gave us Lynn Chaney in Vice.
Yeah. Oh my God,
Julie
of
and
course.
Julia. The Muppets. Leap Year. Charlie Wilson's War. And Enchanted. That was all this one actress.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a joke? Who the hell is Kathy?
I'm going to co-sign you on everything that you said there. We'll hear more about Kathy. We need to hear about why Toby is grumpy.
The president gets his blood pressure checked every morning. On higher pressure days, Toby's not allowed to be in the president's sight line while he's speaking. I'm screaming, I'm Jed. This is what I came for. Pump it into my veins.
We're like 5 minutes in and it's all I've ever asked for. There's a phrase which is about Toby, which is he finds it hard to conceal displeasure. And I find that a much better phrase than resting bitch face. Mm-hmm. So I think from now on, I'm going to describe people or myself as finding it hard to conceal displeasure.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Kathy is a farmer's daughter. Farmers, the Achilles heel of a political campaign. We're trying to kind of curry favor with Kathy. Mm-hmm. Kathy is being very open about the plight of farmers in America.
Yes.
She's saying some very interesting things. And Toby turns to her and he's like, we've already lost Indiana. And she's like, oh, but if you could meet some of the people. He's like, no, Richie's got Indiana. We need to move on.
A weirdly elitist moment from Toby.
Yeah, which actually kind of, there is a lot of this in this episode and the following episode of Toby and Josh, their sphere of influence being quite small. They're very focused on the campaign and not necessarily on like leading.
There's some myopia going on here.
That's
I think.
an excellent word.
Yeah.
Josh says, you want to lighten up a little?
I am lightened up. This is me lightened up. You're saying lighter?
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Stunning. While they're kind of arguing, they get left behind by the motorcade.
Genius. A fantastic dramatic premise. Aaron pulling it out for the first episode of his final season. It's giving Mary-Kate and Ashley's 2002 classic, Getting There.
It's giving Crossroads. One of my favorite films of all time.
Wow. Pour one out for Brittany. You know what I mean?
Cheers, Brittany. Yeah, so if this whole episode is just Toby, Josh, and Donna hitchhiking across the country,
that's all I need it to be.
That's my dream come true. Smash into credits. Amy Adams is like, I can drive you to catch up with the motorcade in my soybean-powered car. I'm beside myself. So just Donna and Amy Adams in the front of the truck, and then just... we're going to see Toby and Josh in the back of a flatbed. But we must away to Washington briefly to say hi to Leo and hi to Margaret. Margaret looks amazing. She's in this grey skirt suit and she's got like a beautiful, like soft fringe. Like the bangs are incredible. Chef's kiss. Leo is being grumpy and Margaret's like, but did you eat breakfast? And he's like, yeah, of course I did. It had half a grapefruit. And I would like to take a pause and I would like to discuss, Leigh, what the fuck was going on when everyone was like, oh, half a grapefruit is breakfast? Because there was a period of time, I'm not wrong, right?
No, you're correct.
Like, I remember my mum doing it.
That's an aggressive taste sensation in the mouth first thing in the morning.
Very acidic
Do you know what
start
I mean?
to the day. I'm not about that, frankly. I love grapefruit. There's a period of my time where I couldn't eat grapefruit. Those who know. And all I wanted was just a crisp glass of grapefruit juice. So I understand the delicious, refreshing sourness
Just pair it
of a
with some
grapefruit.
toast, for the love of God.
Have something else. I mean, you're the chief of staff. Have some porridge or some yogurt and muesli. Throw some berries in there. Jesus
What happened to your
Christ.
breakfast meetings, Leo?
We go to the sit room. I'm worried we're spending a lot of time in the sit room these days. Hi, Fitzy.
Hey.
Good to see you, bud. You old son of a gun.
You old horse thief, you old muckety muck.
Yes, that's it. Horse thief, muckety muck. And Leo immediately arrives in the sit room and then orders half a grapefruit, which one means he was lying to Margaret and two means he's currently at work on an empty stomach.
This is absolute madness and it's triggering my anxiety as the partner of someone with ADHD.
It's very much like, have you eaten? And then someone going, I ate lunch yesterday. And then I had some crackers some point. And you're like, it's 4 p.m.
Please.
And you're in tears. So I feel like we know why.
Yeah.
We're straight into it in the sit room with kind of a check-in with the Joint Chiefs.
Yes. I feel like we're just running through the kind of day's events. But a classic from Leo, just immediately. I love the banter with Fitz. It's very fun. Is Velasco's government in danger, or is this just another crazy general with guns? No offense, Fitz.
Yeah, it's lovely. And you have these kind of like laughter moments between the two of them. And then one of the other Joint Chiefs is like, oh, and by the way, Kumar are going to reopen the investigation into the missing plane because Sharif went missing and the plane went down. So they're just going to look into that. And you just see this moment of like Fitzy and Leo like clock eyes. And then I was like, oh, fuck. Of course, like no one knows.
This is more secure than the sit room.
Like literally it's Nancy, Fitzy, Leo, and Jed.
Yeah.
That's it. Crazy.
Not to be psychotic, but it was a sexy little look between Fitzy and Leo.
It promised drama.
And sexual tension. Am I crazy?
No, I just think they're both men who have a twinkle.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And there's no way that that's not like, I feel that both of them would tap a man on the ass.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To Sam.
To Sam.
Speaking
Sam
of men tapping each other on the ass.
And this is one that we know would. Sam has been banned from the office.
Now, this is a tactic people in your workplaces need to start employing.
Yes, my response to this was Sam is a Virgo, 100%. He like needs control, but he also needs to be praised. And it's tough out there, baby boy. It's tough. He's like, no, I just thought like I'd maybe come in and check my emails. And they're like, go to sleep.
Please. I'm not fighting with you.
Yeah, Leo literally says, go to sleep.
I'm not fighting with you.
And then he just like throws his hands up in the air as he does it, strides into his office. It's camp as hell. But back to the campaign trail, we have a brief mention of the Dow being down at the start of the scene. And it has kind of been mentioned about 3 times before. Some kind of fund or bank. There's some sort of financial bankruptcy situation going on. I imagine there'll be more of this. I feel like when Aaron's peppering stuff in, it's because this is going to be like a big deal. We have a little moment with Bruno.
We do. Lovely to see him back.
So great to see him. He's like giving Jed suggestions as Jed's like walking up to go on stage at this airbase.
This is the most I think we've seen Bruno feel the pressure.
For sure, because Bruno's like, hey, like you need to say this, this, and this. And Jed was like, look, these people can't vote. Like I'm not going to go up there and lecture them. They are serving members of the armed forces. I'm going to go up there. I'm going to give them a show, essentially, and I'm going to make them feel respected and loved and honored because they're all about. They could go on active duty at any point.
Yeah,
which actually, in the context of 2002, feels like a really great box ticked.
Yeah. An absolute corker to open from Jed, which is, good morning, we haven't met, I'm your commander-in-chief.
The speech he gives at this airbase is like, honestly, I need that back.
Knocking it out of the park.
Yeah, we'll give you a bit more of a rundown, but we have to go back to the soybean truck.
Please take me there.
So we've got Donna and Kathy in the front. We've got Toby and Josh, who are grumpy with each other in the back, with just a man whose name I forget. I'm so sorry. And Josh is wearing this like gray suit, like very pale gray suit, and like tiny little 2002 sunglasses. He looks fucking cool, but also he looks so metropolitan.
It's so crazy. But I'm amazed at how comfy Josh Lyman looks sat on the back of a flatbed truck.
Yeah, for me, it's very performative male. But like not in a horrible way, but in like a kind of like him being like, yeah, I could do this. Yeah, this is fun. And he's just talking about how fit Kathy was and how like into Toby she was. And the quote is, think about the lovely Kathy, the farmer's daughter with a master's degree. Wholesome, but maybe not too wholesome.
So camp. Why is this camp?
And then he turns to the other man and he's like, how do you know Kathy? And he just very calmly says, I'm her boyfriend.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's just a stunning shot of the three of them in the back of the truck. These 2 episodes, I think it's because we're spending a lot more time out of doors on our kind of road trip movie moment, but they feel so filmic. Like there's so many beautiful filmic shots.
Yeah. It's like the open road and the fields and everything, and like the car just on like a dirt road. Love it. Well, back to Jed slam
Speaking of
dunking.
which, Fi passed her driving theory.
Yeah, halfway there. Just got to get in an actual car. Should we go back to Jed's slam dunk? Would you like to perform, Leigh?
What will I tell my grandchildren? I'll tell them that I stood on the Great Wall of China and that I stood in the well of the U.S. House of Representatives. I'll tell them I sat with kings and cardinals and made an appointment to the Supreme Court. And I'll tell them that one morning in September, I got to spend a few minutes with the men and women of Air Wing 1. God bless you and your families, and may he continue to shed his magnificent grace upon the United States of America.
Oh my God.
I miss when U.S. presidents had rhetoric and poetry.
Like, give us something. You know what I mean?
Give us a phrase.
Just, I do think, and do you know what? I'm going to bench it. We're going to come back to it. I am here for this. I know it's schmaltzy. I know it's a bit much. But maybe that's what we need.
And dare I say, for someone in the current president of the United States who has such a vendetta against especially non-English speaking immigrants to the United States, he himself has a phenomenal disregard for the English language. There,
agreed.
I said
and
it.
Actually, I think public speaking, especially if you're a party leader or if you are the president or the prime minister of a country, you need to be good at that. Fundamentally, you need to be a very good public speaker. You need to be able to respond to questioning well and in an informed manner because that is the role of that job.
Yeah.
And that's all I'll say on the matter. Little phone call from Leo to Jed after he comes off stage. Little gal pals catch up. And just a little kind of nod. Leo's like, yeah, some stuff's been going on. Like, Kumar's going to reopen this investigation. And you just see this flash on Martin Sheen's face of Sharif's death and how it weighs heavy on him. And I'm like, ooh, lovely. Little nugget there.
But like, is this phone line secure?
I think they're very careful about what they say. All Leo says are facts. And all Jed says is, okay. But agreed, we must be careful. Absolutely slayed by the folksy music we have as we cut back to the truck.
We love a crop duster.
Yeah. So we're trying to catch up with the guys at this airbase. And I beg the question, Leigh, do you think Aaron Sorkin has ever been on a farm?
No.
No, I don't think so either. The truck obviously promptly runs out of gas. Diesel. Gas. Diesel. What a surprise. We thought that was going to happen. Josh obviously thinks it's some sort of divine intervention for him being disrespectful towards Kathy. Did we run out of gas because I said she was wholesome, but not too wholesome? Kathy promptly hails down another truck and is like, hey, you guys, there's a gas station like a kilometer ahead. You guys walk ahead and we're going to jump in this truck with this local guy and he's going to drive us back to our farm. Cue the first of many interactions that we have while we're on the road of people being like, you work for Bartlett? Didn't vote for him the first time. Don't plan to the second time.
It almost feels like meeting the three ghosts or the three monsters. It's like, it feels very kind of mythical.
It does. But I think it's a genius move to have to introduce characters who have a very visceral reaction to the Bartlett campaign.
I also wouldn't put it past Aaron Sorkin to literally have based this on the Odyssey, you know?
Truly. I think it's a really smart move because you see Toby and Josh almost roll their eyes. They have a very intellectual response to these people being like, didn't vote for him the first time, don't plan to the second, which is, lost your vote. You wouldn't have changed your mind anyway because you're like a backwater farmer. Rather than pursuing it and finding out the reasons why. And I think that's the key to these two episodes. Josh says, this is fun. We're roughing it. And I think that's very me trying to convince you on a camping holiday that we're having fun.
Correct. Yes. I really want a print of Donna, Josh, and Toby stranded on the side of the road as like an art piece for my home.
Yeah, some wall art. It is. Yeah, perfect. There's a little secret meeting with Leo and Fitzy. What I didn't realize is that the cover for Sharif going missing and the plane going down is just that it got lost in the Bermuda Triangle.
Iconic.
Like, Fitzy's done a great job. The way that he lists off all the ways in which they covered their tracks, incredible. But also, shout out Bermuda Triangle as like a get out of jail free card for everyone. Also, like, what's going on in there? Do you know what I mean? He's like, oh yeah, we just said it was this. And I was like, but like, what is the Bermuda Triangle? Don't want to think about that too much.
No.
But up to Air Force One and CJ.
This is where the past tense in the on-screen writing started to concern me. I felt like we were building up to something. I felt like we were compiling evidence. Also, I was like, oh, so the guys have clearly missed the plane. Also, a very fun moment with CJ in the press where she is talking about something that Robert Ritchie said in his press during the day. We've got another addition to our list of things Robert Ritchie's not. Speaking this morning at the Philadelphia Financial Council, the governor said, I'm no scientist, but I know a thing or two about physics. So for the week, you can add scientist to doctor, mind reader, and Chinese. This is such a good read on schmaltzy Republicans.
I have a problem with that turn of phrase. It really pisses me off. Like, I'm not a such and such, but I know, like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
It's perfect for this character.
Yeah.
Because as we learned last season with Toby being like, run as the smart guy. This is 100% the perfect campaign for Richie to run, which is tear down the smart guy. Like, it's not about being the smartest in the room. It's about caring the most. You know, you're so right. It's an excellent read.
I'm also deeply concerned about the context of Chinese, but
yeah, wow. Jed has an interview with another prospective assistant in a Dolores Landingham capacity. Obviously, I'm terrified because I feel like that means that Lily Tomlin is lost to us. We meet a woman called Meredith. Meredith is dry as an old boot.
Giving him nothing. I would struggle to work with Meredith.
Jed needs spark. He needs whimsy. He needs like someone with a bit of like kind of chutzpah.
A little bit of back and
Gumption.
forth. Gumption. Yes, couldn't have said it better myself. Agreed.
Yeah, Meredith, no, that's a hard no from me. And you can just tell he's just like, no, this is not my vibe. To the gas station.
I don't like loitering.
This is something that the owner of the gas station says when he finds out that Josh and Toby work for the Bartlett administration. And I think that's very funny. They then sit outside and get really grumpy with each other and are like, oh, if we could throw this rock into this can, we'll like bet on something. And I was like, the gas man has clearly shown a dislike for you. Why are you now throwing rocks on his property?
It's crazy.
And like, what's going on with Toby and why aren't we communicating? We're grown-ass men.
What's going on with both of them together as a unit?
You know what, Toby? I don't want this to be a high blood pressure day for me either. What are you trying to say, Josh?
What's going on?
We receive a ride from someone who's volunteering for the Bartlett campaign. This man is called Tyler.
I'm obsessed with Tyler.
And he is your average American teen.
I think I dated Tyler in high school.
He has a Jeep.
Yes.
Which we get in.
It's a very cool car to have as a teenager.
It's a very cool. I feel like it's a very clever way of painting what kind of family Tyler is from.
Yes. Now, Toby and Josh continue to bicker in the back of Tyler's Jeep, and it feels as though something has been brewing for a while, a la the great Carrie Miranda fallout of the first Sex and the City movie. This is when I had a breakthrough spiritually. Toby is Miranda. Josh is Carrie.
100%.
Sam is Charlotte.
Yes.
And CJ is Samantha.
Oh my God.
It's really broken open the whole show for me.
Which obviously, once again, begs the question, did Michael Patrick King watch the first season of The West Wing and go, let's do this with women and gays in New York?
I hate to tell you this, Fee, but it was the other way around.
Actually, I prefer that. I love the idea of Aaron Sorkin sitting down and watching Sex and the City and being like, what if this was about politics and there were more men?
What if this was about men in politics?
Yeah.
Love that. Gorgeous. The argument that Toby and Josh are having in the back of Tyler's Jeep is like music to the ears. It's like beautiful. But I think the one line that I did want to pull out of it, because we're coming to the line and we're seeing a hairdo from Florida in pass coverage. And so that's where we want to put the ball. What is your concern? Because it's coming from insecurity from both of them.
Yeah. But what you should do is verbalize. Cue a moment of nonsense, which is perfect.
With Kiki.
With Kiki. Tyler's like, sorry guys, do you mind if I just pull over a second? And Donna's like, well, we kind of really need to make this plain. There's like 3 high school girls on like pedal bikes. And he's like, hey, Kiki. And she's like, oh my God, Tyler, you need to stop calling me and like leave me alone. And he's like, so sue me, I guess, because I love you. Place me under arrest, Kiki. And like has this full like kind of declaration of love moment to her, and she's very unimpressed. And Josh stands up in the back of the Jeep like Laura Dern in Jurassic Park.
Observing the dinosaurs, literally.
Yeah. They all get out the truck and they're like, hey, sorry to barge in on this obviously private but public moment, but like we have to get to like a plane.
Kiki's friend then shouts at them, how many unborn babies did you kill today?
Wow.
Love it.
Yeah.
Put it in my veins.
Yeah. And then they're like, oh, we need to get this plane at such and such a time. And the girl's like, well, it's like an hour past then because you're in a different time zone.
This is such an ingenious plot device.
Joshua Lyman screams, we changed time zones in a way that is indescribable. And then he and Toby like run into a nearby tunnel.
It's the fact that they're not even in the forefront of the shot. We see no close-up of either of them. They're just in the background freaking out.
Yeah, because they're like, we're stuck here in the countryside.
It's so beautiful. He is Cameron Diaz in the opening of The Holiday as she arrives in England. It's like...
Yes, trying to drag her suitcases down that little road.
Yeah. It's the best scene of television I've ever seen. I wish we were in the era of camera phones so that Josh could be like filmed by these teenagers and go viral.
Yeah, stunning.
But he finally breaks as the city boy we know him to be.
And admits that he's not comfortable everywhere. Back briefly to Air Force One. And we have this lovely shot of like CJ leant on a desk in like semi-shadow.
Just having a thoughtful moment.
And like taking a breath. And she like pulls Charlie aside. And so last season, we found out that Simon was a big brother to a young guy called Anthony. And so she's talking to Charlie and she's like, basically, since Simon died, Anthony's been struggling with his grief and it's made him like act out. And he stole a teacher's car, but because he already had another misdemeanor from previously, he's now getting charged with a felony. And basically the kind of get out for getting it, I think, dropped back down to a misdemeanor is for him to re-enroll in the Big Brothers system.
The Big Brothers program. I think it's the teacher whose car he's stolen has offered to drop the charges.
Right.
If he re-enrolls. But the kind of agreement is that it would be someone in the West Wing that would be his big brother to kind of be a kind of counselor. And she puts all this to Charlie and he's so present when he's listening to her and he's like so aware that this is also about her grief too and her feeling responsible for this young man now. And I think CJ and Charlie are just real proper friends. And I don't think she's having conversations like this with other people she works with. And this is what I was hoping for Charlie this season, is that like all of the like joking, fun storylines in last season would lead to something a bit meatier for him, which I'm so glad that we're seeing the fulfillment of that. Like we saw him and CJ joking around together so much in season 3, and we're getting the payoff in episode 1 of season 4 with showing that all of that kind of joking around has left like a real bond between them of like adult to adult friendship.
Yeah. And also like vulnerability from both sides.
Yes.
Because CJ's very vulnerable with him, but then he has this moment where he kind of like, you can see him being like, I know all the reasons why this would be great, but I don't know how I have the capacity for it. And he like takes this breath and exhales and just says like, I just got Deanna off to school.
Devastating. He's sent his sister to college.
Yeah.
That is, can we talk about like what an achievement that is? That is crazy. But devastating.
It's so interesting that like we've chosen not to have a moment of celebration for Charlie for that, but for him to be like, his experience of life is so different to these other people that he works with. And I really like that as the show goes on, we still acknowledge that. And along that vein, as he's like, I don't think I'm right for it. And CJ's like, that's fine. I kind of thought it wasn't going to work out. He then like checks her and he's like, by the way, like, you're not just going to ask the people who look like me, right? And she just like kind of looks back and like gives him like a firm smile. And she's like, no, Sam's the next person.
Yeah.
And I think that also speaks to the closeness of their relationship. That he's like very comfortable and in like a non-combative way is like, you're not just asking me because I'm black.
Yeah.
And her being like, absolutely not. I kind of just thought you were a good fit. But I also knew that you were going to clock me on that. And I'm happy for you to clock me on that.
Yeah.
Beautifully written scene. Would you like some crazy physical comedy from Sam Seaborn?
Rob Lowe. We've not gotten to see much physical comedy from him. We've gotten it from CJ. We've gotten it from Josh. I would just like to congratulate Rob Lowe on this moment of physical comedy because it was perfection.
Hi, it's Sam. I'm sleeping for a few hours, so you can leave a message, or if you really need me, you can shout into the machine and I'll wake up.
It's so cute.
Cue Josh Lyman going, Sam! And it's like Rob Lowe receives a full body electric shock in this bed.
Yeah. It's so good.
He kind of like tumbles off the bed and then Josh says, and then we were waylaid by some mean schoolgirls, alpha girls. You know what I'm saying? And essentially what Josh is teeing Sam up for is, I'm not going to get back. We've missed the plane. So we're going to have to like get a train and then get another plane back to DC.
So you're going to have to be me for the day.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Which is exactly what we were talking about.
Whoa.
It's happening. Like, this is the moment of stepping up. This is the job interview.
Yeah.
You're his wide angle lens.
There are going to be any number of areas on which I can't give him expert advice.
Welcome to the club, partner. We got jackets.
All right. I'm not going to let you down.
You never do.
Get dressed.
I love that moment to himself when he hangs out the phone. He's like, get dressed.
It's so beautiful. It's also just like such a cute moment of friendship between.
You never do.
Oh.
And then, like, we snap the phone shut. We're back with the guys on the road. And Josh is like, right, we got to get in this car. We got to get to this train station. And Tyler, like, stops Toby from getting back in the car. And he's like, you ever love so much it hurts? Like, physically hurts?
Get in the car. It's a beautiful moment of poetry that Tyler is saying this to Toby, because Toby absolutely knows what he means. You know what I mean?
100%. But he's like, I don't have time for this, Tyler. Gotta get a train.
Cry alone like a man.
Yeah, cry alone in the dark like a real man. Back to another interview with Jed. I don't know this woman's name, but boy, oh boy, is she also boring.
Yeah.
She's super dry. She doesn't like, he cracks a joke and she's like, okay. And like, he is not vibing.
No.
He couldn't end that interview fast enough, honestly. And also, you know what, I'm like, you should be more pumped to interview for the president of the United States.
You should be more like give it some more chutzpah, give it some more energy, give it some
like,
more.
Are you not prepped? Do you not know what kind of man he is?
Did you not do your jumping jacks this morning? Like, please.
Yeah. But Bruno drops by. Hi, Bruno. Leigh, I kind of hate myself, but I don't think I find Bruno attractive. Do I? I don't know. Do I? It's more just...
I know what you mean.
There's a level of like kind of chat and gravitas.
It's because he gives you nothing.
But also so much. Like, there's nothing, and then he'll like... You know, like when he said that thing to CJ in the corridor?
Yeah, and we gave Margaret the necklace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God, no. So toxic, but like, yeah.
Yeah.
The election is in 6 weeks.
I'm like, can all of the episodes in season 4 take place within a 6-week period?
6 weeks? It's got to be.
Whoa.
Crazy.
Whoa.
But the information kind of passed down between Bruno and then CJ is there's a kind of growing face-off between Abby Bartlett and Janet Ritchie. Fun plot line.
I'm dead. It's very Laura Bush, Hillary Clinton coded.
Abby Bartlett was asked a question about whether or not she's still practicing medicine, and she was like, oh, I'm just a wife and a mother right now, which I think was probably a very offhand comment. And then Janet Ritchie did like a statement where she was like, the most rewarding role I've ever had is to be a wife and mother.
Kill me now.
I know, it's stunning. So loads of people turned up at a speech Abby was making dressed in like aprons with rolling pins, which again is actually like quite iconic.
And, you know, I was raised by a stay-at-home mom. I don't know that Jen would be saying the most rewarding thing of my life has been being a wife and mother. I think she'd probably be like, the most rewarding thing of my life has been being a Man United fan. Or something along those lines. You know what I mean? She's her own woman.
Yeah. It's really enjoyable. You can just see CJ being like, oh God, how are we going to spin this? Because, you know, when you're like, it was a genuinely, like, Abby Bartlett doesn't look down on a stay-at-home mom. But like, it's just shows how like quickly in like an election cycle you can spin stuff.
Yeah.
And you see like CJ like kind of putting her head in her hands.
Yeah. There's a moment later that's brilliant where Sam goes, I don't see it. And CJ's like, think about it. And he's like, I see it.
Yeah. And CJ's like, anyway, that's waiting for us down on the ground. And Bruno has one of his moments where he just like looks at it and he's like, well, let's stay up here and have drinks. Oh my God. And then as he walks away, he just says, I love it when the women get involved.
Obsessed. I think what is so great about Bruno is like, I flirt with CJ in this moment. She's a grieving woman. Give her something.
Yeah. And it's so harm. I don't see Bruno then like at a dinner, like putting his hand on CJ's leg.
No.
And being like, come on, Cregg, I thought you were good for it.
No.
I just see him being like, this is what I'm like with my colleagues, men and women.
Yeah. I'm flirtatious with everyone until I'm not.
He's a bi king, I think. That's the storyline here. Like if he turned up at one point and was like, and this is my husband, I'd be like, yeah, I 100% see that.
Yeah. And it's like, some fruity little twink.
Yes. Go, Sam, go.
Yes.
We're on our way to step into Josh Lyman's shoes. Ginger is so present and ready for this. And also necessarily chilled. Because he's like pinging around. We're on our way, I guess, to the Oval. And there is this brilliant moment of writing where Margaret gets her flowers.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
do we have some kind of condensed Reader's Digest index of, well, all human knowledge?
We usually just use Margaret.
I love that.
So good.
Then Bruno walks past, and this is the only interaction between Bruno and Sam. Were there women with aprons and rolling pins at a rally in Madison, Wisconsin this morning?
Yeah.
Why?
Abby Bartlett is a lesbian.
Crazy. And then Sam goes off. Bruno goes into, I think, the Roosevelt room with CJ and Ed and Larry and another couple of people. And they're kind of talking about what they're going to do about the Abby Bartlett women with aprons sitch. And there's a very interesting discussion around the framing of quote unquote women's issues during an election, which I thought was absolutely fascinating. Which was kind of like, CJ was like, oh God, we're going to have to like deal with this. And like, maybe we should like get Abby to do like X, Y, and Z. And it was interesting that Bruno's thing was like, oh, well, this is perfect for Richie's campaign, right? Because they want to remove Abby and put her into a quote unquote women's issue. Then, you know, your women voters, they're going to like magnetize themselves towards that one moment.
Yeah.
And that's how they'll vote. And I was like, oh, fuck, that's fascinating. Because there's always a moment like that.
Yeah.
In an election campaign.
Yeah, like what kind of woman do you identify as, basically?
Yeah. So I'm excited to see, as the campaign goes on, kind of the role that Abby plays. Because I think that she's going to have more of a voice than she would expect herself to.
Yes.
We go back to the road briefly to stop by and get some food, where we meet several other people who also hate Democrats and Bartlett.
Yes, and I believe city people.
Yeah, just city people in general, including a woman called Fiona, who is described as having been in a bad mood for, well, about 45 years now, I guess.
Obsessed with Fiona.
Continuing tension between Toby and Josh. Meanwhile, in the Oval, the advice that Jed gives Sam to helping him is just rock and roll, Sam.
Because Sam is concerned about where to stand.
Then Ed's like, Josh normally stands over there, which is, oh no, it's not Ed, it's Larry. It's exactly what happens to him in the scene, which is he says something to Jed Bartlet and Bartlet's like, you're Ed, right? And he's like, no, I'm Larry. And then Jed just goes, whatever.
It's so good.
But the little, like, I'm just going to wave a little flag for the scene, because in this scene we meet Congressman Peter Lynn. And I love this show because there's this really gorgeous moment where like he's a newly appointed congressman. He like shakes hands with Jed Bartlet, and Jed has this kind of back and forth with him where he's like, how old were you when your like parents came to this country? And look at you now, you're like representing where you grew up. This is so exciting. Welcome, my friend, to the show that never ends. And I'm like, yeah, that's what America's about.
Yeah.
And that was just a little beacon of hope in like what has been a very dark and difficult and scary American news cycle in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
To be like, it wasn't that long ago. I know 2002 feels like an age ago. But like Peter Lynn existed as a character.
Yeah.
In this show. Hope still exists.
Yeah.
But shall we go on to part 2 of 20 Hours in America?
Yeah. The Dow is still dropping, Fiona.
7th largest in history, the drop is. Nice to have a little touch of the financial crises going on.
Ahead of its time, though. We're nowhere near 2008 yet.
I know. Once again, Aaron Sorkin predicting the future. We have a baffling scene, which I really won't go into because honestly, it happens and then is never referenced again.
Who is Murray O'Keefe? And why is he there?
Tiny little gentleman, this tiny little ancient gentleman who apparently has like just met all presidents since like Hoover. And Jed freaks out because he shook hands with Hoover the day before the Great Depression was announced. And Jed's like, I can't shake hands with him. What if there's another depression?
A really cute, spooky exchange between Charlie and Jed where they both really get in touch with their inner witch.
And Jed's like, I don't think I want to do it. And Charlie's like, oh my God, you shouldn't. And then Charlie's like, we're going to have to reschedule. I'm sorry. And Muriel's like, why? And Charlie just goes, you're spooking the hell out of the president. CJ finds Sam in his office, just sitting on the floor.
Beautiful.
What you doing on the floor?
I don't know. It was just the closest thing.
I feel that so deeply.
Yeah.
I have been here I am here often. And in these moments, more often than not, Leigh, you are my CJ.
Oh.
When you're just like, what a fucking day. I don't know how I'm going to get through that day again. But I also don't know how to reflect on the things that have just happened because not all of them were bad. Some of them were very, very good. And then CJ asks Sam if he would consider being a big brother for Anthony. And Sam's like, okay, so I just worked like 48 hours over the last 3 days. So I could probably fit it in like around such and such. And like he's trying to make it work. And she just says, I'm sitting here listening and I've already turned to a life of crime. But it's really, I think Alison Janney is playing her grief really beautifully. Because it's so like,
it's so subtle. It's just,
it's so nuanced in that Sam's like, his instinct as a human being is to make it work. But also you can tell that he's like, I'm making it work because I want to help you through this.
I can't take on another thing. Like I just can't take on another thing. I just love that CJ, through her grief, hasn't lost her sense of humor because people don't stop being funny when they're grieving. If anything, people often become funnier.
Yeah, like your personality doesn't change.
No.
Yeah, I think that's where the writing is so strong.
Yeah, and heartbreaking.
We must go back to Tyler's truck and the road trip from hell.
Beautiful. Toby and Josh are now trying to out-Jewish each other, which is fascinating.
The boys are so cranky. We get to this train station. The train is from like the 1920s. I have no idea what's going on. And Tyler's like, anyway, like Godspeed. And then the train pulls off in the wrong direction.
Obsessed.
Incredible. But to the sit room.
Nancy and Fitz are in the same room. All of my dreams have come true.
This is the sexiest scene I've ever seen.
It is outrageous.
Nancy just says, let's attack. And I'm like, I'd follow you into fire.
I would follow you over the top, Nancy.
Yeah. And then Fitzy's like, is she talking to me? You're a brave man, Fitzwallace, to like take that approach with a woman such as Nancy.
Nancy then calls him Admiral Sissy Mary. I don't even care about the toxic masculinity. It's so funny.
It's incredible.
Especially, it's because she's saying it to the manliest man I've ever seen.
Yeah. And like one of the most powerful men in America.
Yeah.
So good. But what we've kind of deduced from the Kumar investigation into Sharif's death or his plane going missing is deep down we worry they know it was the states that did it. But because they know that the US can't come out and say it was them, they could choose someone to say it was to kick off a war of their own making that they've been kind of angling for. So accidentally, the US may have started a war in the Middle East. ... Aaron's got his finger on the pulse in 2002.
And also somehow 2010 and 11.
Really interesting because you're like, I kind of thought that was going to be the end of that storyline and that we would just be dealing with like Jed's personal
the emotional
aftermath.
Fallout.
But actually to be like, you know, what if we get drawn into a conflict, like an international conflict that at some point Jed's going to have to be like, that would never have happened. Like civilians are going to die because I made a call. I think that's where like the weight of it is going to expand.
Crazy.
But we're back with Jed and the notes on the screen tell us that he's got a meeting with Deborah Fitterer at 5:20. Or as he calls her, the crazy woman that Charlie knows.
Obsessed.
I can't remember who's talking to. I'm assuming Sam. When Sam's like, oh, by the way, Josh, Toby, and Donna are still stuck trying to come back to DC. And the line that Jed delivers, mwah, I laughed out loud.
300 IQ points between them and they can't find their way home. I swear to God, if Donna wasn't there, they'd have to buy a house.
So good.
Did you not say you wanted Donna to get her flowers?
There she is.
She's the only one making plans to get them home.
She's the only one running the day. The others just being grumpy little shites. Sam then does some very gentle kind of needling about why the president is finding it so hard to hire someone to replace Mrs. Landingham. And Jed gets a little bit defensive and he goes, I don't know, Sam, I'm a puzzle. So yeah, I'm going to be using this anytime I'm indecisive and grouchy from now on.
Beautiful.
I don't know, I'm a puzzle.
To the locomotive.
The locomotive. So we're going the wrong way, which means we can't make the plane that we were planning to make.
We're not going to make the 6:15. That was a pipe dream. That was folly.
Toby, meanwhile, is like writing on scraps of paper and napkins.
Furiously, everything that Richie says that's wrong from memory.
Yeah. And then he and Josh like get into it.
Yeah.
And he talks a lot about the kind of like style of campaign that Richie is running. And it is honestly terrifying because like we're watching this show with like a 2002 lens and there's enjoyment and us being like, against a campaign like Jed Bartlet's, Richie's campaign is never going to win. But the reality of 2026 is like, that's how campaigns are run now.
Yeah.
And that's terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
So I was with Toby in his kind of existentialism there.
Yeah.
But Lily Tomlin. Whoa, here she is. She's back on our screens. She is outside of the Oval and Charlie's like, hey, I'm just going to like bring you up to speed with a few things. Here's a few training bits. By the way, we use lots of euphemisms and code words. So like this is the word we use for when Jed and Abby are banging.
I'm obsessed. They're barbecuing.
Which is very sexual. Right? No?
Yeah.
Yeah. But we must talk about what Lily is wearing, which is this plum-coloured long line blazer, which is fastened only at the neck. And then she has this like chunky beaded, what I thought was a necklace, but I think might be like a bolero tie. And then like matching chunky red earrings. It's mental.
But she looks amazing.
But like, you know when you're like, you bought this in 1982 and you have worn it ever since then?
It's such good costuming. It also would work on no one but Lily Tomlin.
Correct.
You know?
And then what proceeds is one of the finest scenes ever.
I really struggled to take notes on it because it was just so beautiful to listen to.
Agreed. It was so well written and their like back and forth was so brilliant. And not only were you watching two characters like trying to feel each other out, but also you saw two actors really enjoying sparring with each other on screen.
And it's so cute knowing that they go on to obviously work together on Grace and Frankie.
Yeah. Like
later.
You can understand where that relationship starts.
Yeah. You were strange the first time I met you and you're strange now. But it's said in like such a respectful way. It's like
in a, okay, I get it. You're weird. Like I don't need to put you in a box. You're just odd. Their chemistry is excellent. And what I really appreciate is what Aaron could have done is just written Deborah as another Mrs. Landingham. But he's found a very different like linguistic dynamic for Debbie.
It was an impossible task to write a new assistant with a different but equally fun vibe. And he's done it.
And he's like, why did you get fired? And she's like, I'm not going to tell you. And he's like, well, obviously, like, I'm the president, so you're going to have to tell me. And she's like, well, I won't. And he's like, well, you can't not tell me. And she's like, okay, well, I guess you're not going to give me the job then. And then we all find out together in the same room that the reason she got fired is because her old boss wanted her to hire one of his friend's sons, but she hired Charlie instead. She's a fucking rock star.
Also, then like Jed has this moment of realization where he chases her through the West Wing. Why is it emotional? It's like the chase scene at the end of a rom-com. It's like...
Yeah, I was a bit tearful, especially when he was like, he asked her like this, all he asked was like a fact that someone else had said in the room when they'd had their interview. And she was like, well, obviously it's this. And then he went, well, I'll see you tomorrow or whatever. And it was the dusky light through the window and like the way that she smiled at Charlie. Like I got a bit tearful.
Yeah.
But to our first press briefing of the season. Did not expect this.
Curveball.
Huge curveball. So CJ kind of gets in live and also really brilliant writing because I feel like it's the first time that we've seen her navigating like live information like coming into an earpiece and while memos being passed to her. Really masterful writing and performing there. But their two pipe bombs have been detonated at swim meet at a university and like 45 people have been killed and there's more injured. Like it's a huge...
It kind of feels like what we weren't ready to address in season 3, we are now addressing in season 4.
And we cut to Leo and Margaret kind of wrapping up for the day, and they realize that the press briefing's still going, and they turn the sound up, and they're like, oh my goodness, this thing's happened, right? We
There's
need
this
to go.
crazy moment of like incredible acting from John Spencer where he goes, why is she still going? And he's learning that she has the information before he does, which I think is the first time we've ever seen that.
Which is so exciting. What it does do is put a spanner in the works of Leo McGarry's plans that evening.
Which I've done some historical research on. Would you like to be Margaret or Leo?
I'll be Leo. I think you deserve Margaret in this one. I was planning a quiet night.
Watching your cooking show.
It's not just a cooking show, right? It's very relaxing. The woman is sublime.
If you ask me, it's soft porn. No one needs to massage garlic into a leg of lamb that much. Now, are we or are we not talking about Nigella? Nigella Bites first aired in the US in 2001, so it would be historically accurate.
We are 100% talking about Nigella Lawson. I think it would be insane to not think that we're talking about Nigella Lawson. And also, I would say... The microwave. We must discuss that Nigella Lawson is a safe space for people who are feeling low. Okay? Now, as a woman who, in a depressive episode, once lay on the couch and watched the entire back catalogue of Nigella Lawson's work, and then I think made quite a lot of jam.
Oh, the jam episode. The great jam episode of 2021.
Yeah. Nigella, for me, is sublime. I think
she
that's
is
the
sublime.
correct word. I find it very relaxing.
Leo deserves Nigella.
Is it soft porn? Maybe. Maybe I just want to feel something. I want to see a woman with a fantastic rack make a heavy chocolate pudding.
But then I was emotionally sideswiped by the circle back to I Don't Like Mondays, which
What
for me
a needle drop
is the greatest needle drop of this show thus far. So sue me, I actually prefer it over Hallelujah.
Honestly, it was wild. So we're cutting to a motel. It's like nighttime. It's rainy. Our 3 road trip kids are like running into this motel because their flight's been delayed. I Don't Like Mondays is playing. And they're like, hey, can we get a room? We just want to like watch the news and dry off. And they turn around and like see the news screen. And since they were stranded in the soybean field, all they've had is a local newspaper to like provide them with news.
That's so crazy that like the thought of being cut off from the news for that long is like wild. Like it just wouldn't happen in 2026. You'd just like nudge the person next to you on the train and go, hey, any New York Times notifications come through? Or
yeah,
are we good?
Yeah, like we're pre 24-hour news, right? I feel like this would have been kicking in around this time.
Yeah. We're in a pre-Rachel Maddow world.
God, I
mean, she was alive, but she didn't have her show.
We're going to cut to a big event. The music is still playing.
Abby looks amazing. She is just actively listening to Jed speak. She has a beehive updo and like huge ruby earrings with a matching choker.
Yeah.
Dare I say, an excusable bolero.
It's more Elizabeth Taylor day by day.
CJ also looks amazing listening to Jed speak. She's in a white plunge neck shift dress with like a huge star brooch at the cleave. She looks like the Statue of Liberty for 2002.
Yeah, they both look incredible. And then Jed is doing his speech, which I guess was planned for this event, but with edits because this event has happened. My God, I'm sorry, but I just want a leader with gravitas. I want this level of poetry, of feeling, of hope and love. Is that too much to ask, Leigh?
The streets of heaven are too crowded with angels tonight.
I had so many applicants for a moment that made me proudest to be an American, but I have to say, every time we think we've reached our capacity to meet a challenge, we look up and we're reminded that that capacity may well be limitless. This is a time for American heroes. We will do what is hard. We will achieve what is great. This is a time for American heroes, and we will reach the stars. God bless their memory. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
Whoa.
Whoa. And then Bruno leans over to Sam and is like, did you write that? And Sam was like, yeah, in the back of the car. And then Bruno just goes, freak.
It's so good.
Which is really good, but also kind of hot and sexy.
It's, I feel, the highest compliment that Bruno could give.
100%. But we leave the event and we head back to the West Wing where Anthony is waiting for CJ. And she's like, sorry, we got held up. There's obviously been this big thing that you've seen on the news and this event. But anyway, I can drive you home now. And he acts out. And he calls her a bitch under his breath. And he does that as Charlie is walking past. And the speed with which Charlie turns around, grabs that young man by the scruff of his neck, and is like, you'll listen to me. Her name is Miss Cregg.
Oh my God, it makes me want to cry.
Give him an Oscar. Give him all the awards. What a scene.
I hope that Dule Hill won an Emmy for this scene alone in this episode. When I was talking about giving Dule Hill more, this is what I was talking about. It's so good. And now we're going to see him mentor this young man over the course of the season. But like, what a performance. What a performance.
And the writing is obviously phenomenal, but the performance of that monologue is so well balanced because at no point does Charlie put himself above Anthony.
No.
He doesn't patronize him. He's just like, you've got two choices here, buddy. One, you go back outside, you do whatever you want to do. Whatever. Or you can meet me in this diner on this day. That's it. Like your actions are your own. I'm not going to save you. It's so good. And like, also, there's something that really moves me about Charlie being like, you're not my responsibility, but it is my responsibility to make sure that young people respect women.
I mean, yeah, in the era of the incel, it's like all the more moving.
Like this woman, you didn't know her well. You've got a complicated relationship with her because your mentor, he probably never opened up to you about who she was to him. Yeah. So you're thinking she's trying to do some white savior shit. And understandably, in your grief, are like gonna come at her for that. But she's just a human being. You can't call her a bitch. No. She's offering to drive you home. She's trying to help you out. We swing from that to Sam's office and well, who's at the doorway, Leigh?
Mallory McGarry?
Here in Sam's office?
In season 4?
And she's dumped the hockey player?
In a dress that makes her look like the Empire State Building when we get the reveal of the back of the dress?
In like a silk?
A revenge dress, if I have ever seen one.
It was really nice because she didn't come on too like intense, but she was like, let's get you home. Which was saucy. We get a really interesting moment of learning for Sam where he says, I love Josh like a brother and he's a world-class political mind, but until today I didn't know he was smarter than I was. Oh, very valuable.
Because it's two different types of intelligence. It's minutia intelligence, Sam, and big picture intelligence, Josh. Each has something to learn from the other.
But we can't really sit in that for too long because we get sideswiped once again with a very small moment between CJ and Charlie. Charlie goes back to his desk and there's like a gift wrap box there. And it's just a beautiful photo of Charlie and his mum when he was a little boy.
It's so cute.
And CJ's in the doorway and she's like, oh, Deanna sent it to me and I got it framed. And I was like, first of all, I love that like CJ's maybe emailing with Deanna.
I like the idea that like CJ has maybe 2 to 3 young women in her life for whom she is kind of an avuncular support. Like she's not had children of her own, but she's identified like 2 to 3 girls who are currently teenagers where she's like, I'm going to be the fun auntie that you need.
Yes.
And I think Deanna is another one of those along with her like biologically related niece. And it makes sense that if she is that kind of mentor figure for these teenage girls, that she's identified that she wants to find someone to do that for Anthony, but she knows it can't be her. It needs to be a man.
Yeah. We are still in Indiana with our 3 road trippers. And the choice to have them sat at this table in this motel with like an empty disco behind them and Donna in like an Indiana State sweater that she's obviously like bought from a gift shop.
It's so good.
And Josh and Toby are still like sparring with each other. And then Donna comes through.
Oh, it's so good. She tells them what's for in a way that I don't know that we've seen her do with certainly not Toby before.
Yeah. And she's like, I'm currently writing letters on your behalf to the families of the people who died today. So I'm going to need you to fucking get a grip. But I'm going to read out what she says because I think it's amazing. And this is a really good example of what I was talking about last week with like wanting Donna to get her flowers. All right, that's it. I can't take it. I'm not kidding. I have such an impulse to knock your heads together. I can't remember the last time I heard you two talk about anything other than how a campaign was playing in Washington. Kathy needed to take a second job so her dad could be covered by her insurance. She tried to tell you how bad things were for family farmers. You told her we already lost Indiana. You made fun of the fair, but you didn't see that they have livestock exhibitions and give prizes for the biggest tomato and the best heirloom apple. They're proud of what they grow. 8 modes of transportation, the kindness of 6 strangers, random conversations with 12 more, and nobody bought up Bartlett versus Richie but you.
So good.
It's so good. And then, Leigh, maybe talk about the father at the bar.
The dad is killing me.
Toby and Josh go over to the bar because they've been told off by Donna. And there's just this guy sitting between them and he starts to engage with Toby. And you know when Toby's just like, fucking hell, really don't talk to me. Like, I'm really not in the mood. It's like giving him 1-word answers. And this guy's like, oh, I went to, like, my plane's also delayed. Like, my daughter's up in our room. Like, we went to go and look around Notre Dame. And I got really teary watching that. Because it was just this guy who had had a really big day taking his daughter around like a huge university and her basically being like, wow, it would be my dream to come here. And he's like, the stock market's in flux. I had investments, but they were in the thing that's gone down in value. And that was her college fund. And I work and her mum works. And like, it's just really hard. And I knew it was going to be hard. I want it to be hard, but I didn't know it was going to be this hard.
When he started saying like, sending my daughter to college, that's a man's job, I was like,
honestly, like it kind of like,
because that's so both of our dads, I feel.
Yeah. And the idea of being like, wow, it wasn't my experience going to a university like that, but like walking around a university with my daughter and seeing her like imagining her dreams has made me like so proud. And all I want to do is like make her be able to do that. And then he talks about his son who's in public school and is like, he's like, oh, the teachers aren't all that and there's no arts programs. And God, I can't pull my son away from the piano.
Oh, God, that was the bit that got me as well.
It's just like
him like essentially wearing an I love my queer son t-shirt. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, so now I'm actively crying. And it puts all the bickering that Toby and Josh have been doing all day into focus, and you see both of them like snap themselves out of it and realize that what they have here is because we don't say average American, do we? Now
we say everyday Americans.
This is your everyday middle class American in Indiana right now, and you're like, okay, let's buy you a beer and let's talk.
What Toby says is, I'm Toby Ziegler and I work at the White House. Which we've only seen him do once before, which was with the homeless man in the Christmas episode.
Yeah.
Well, we saw him do it a lot in these 2 episodes.
But also every time he did it in these 2 episodes, he did it and like with like a begrudging sigh. Whereas this time around, he was like,
and I can do something about your problems.
And I can do something about your problems. But we close out this episode at 5:05 a.m. In the Oval with a secret meeting with Leo, Nancy, Fitzy, and Jed, where we're talking about what's happening with the Kumari investigation. And basically, it's not looking good.
No.
Literally, the line from Jed is, I stand by you. I stand by you all. I stand by you till I die. Plus, I'm going to need some cellmates in Holland, i.e. when I go to prison for war crimes.
In The Hague. It's kind of crazy.
So yeah, dark. This season's going to be heavy, I feel.
Oh, please, no.
Our kind of road trip kids finally get back to Washington. That's like the final shots of this episode. And they decide that they're not going to go home. They're just going to walk straight to work, which is crazy. But you're so right. It's so filmic, and it's like dawn, and it's DC, and you can see the light coming up on all of the beautiful like white stone buildings. And Toby kind of is thinking aloud as he's walking with Josh and Donna. And what he says is my proudest to be an American moment.
Okay, give it to me.
We don't know what the next president's going to face. If we choose someone with vision, someone with guts, someone with gravitas, who's connected to other people's lives and cares about making them better, if we choose someone to inspire us, then we'll be able to face whatever comes our way and achieve things we can't imagine yet. Instead of telling people who's the most qualified, instead of telling people who's got the better ideas, let's just make it obvious. It's going to be hard.
Then we'll do what's hard.
Bring on season 4.
Bring on 2028, Fiona.
Yeah, bring on 2028.
This is the energy we need for 2028.
Yeah.
Not to completely undercut.
No, but that's what that speech was to me.
Yeah.
We should smash through the quick fires.
Best fashion.
I would love to shout out Amy Adams' Farm Girl Chic.
Agreed.
And also I'd like a cosign on Margaret's grey suit.
And Donna's and CJ's.
Yeah, grey, a big colour in 2002, clearly. And then I just think we should give a round of applause to all of the formal wear.
As always.
But I think my kind of standout fashion moment was Abby's beehive, which shouldn't work. It really shouldn't.
But it did.
But it did.
What could a British or Irish politician never get away with?
Like getting stranded on the road and like it not being news.
I mean, remember that time Ed Miliband ate that sandwich?
Like, honestly, it lost him a campaign. That's how crazy it's become.
Yeah. Queerest moment that never intended to be queer.
I think Sam Seaborn kind of getting more camp by the minute, specifically getting called a freak by Bruno.
Agreed.
And being kind of into it.
I'm also going to add the sexy little moment between Fitzy and Leo. And actually, I'm going to include Nancy in that as well.
A menage a trois, if we will.
Please. That threesome? Wow.
Some fanfic on that, please. Best writerly momently.
Do we have some kind of condensed Reader's Digest index of, well, all human knowledge?
We usually just use Margaret.
Incredible.
I think it has to be from Jed. 300 IQ points between them and they can't find their way home.
Yeah. If Donna wasn't there, they'd have to buy a house.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's so good.
And man, I feel like a man.
I'm torn between Amy Adams' wholesomeness and just Josh in the tunnel shouting about time changes.
Yes, that's so good.
Yeah.
I think mine's a toss-up between and then we were waylaid by some mean schoolgirls, alpha girls, you know what I'm saying? And then just Bruno like laughing and being like, I love it when the women get involved. And we've covered my proudest moment to be an American, which is Toby Ziegler.
I think that's got to be it. And the only thing that rivals it, I think, is Jed's speech about the streets being too crowded with angels tonight. I mean, I think that also obviously hits hard in 2026 with all of the brave people who've lost their lives in the United States.
Yeah. So I feel like we've always been able to draw connections between this show and like what's happening in like now, like present politics. But it's really interesting, I think, going specifically into an election cycle for the first time and going into like a run-up to an election in the campaign. Because honestly, that still feels so present to me. I think I'll feel slightly more triggered in a way watching this coming season. And I think if Governor Ritchie continues to be the character that he's being made out to be, I think there will be parallels that can be drawn.
Yeah.
And let's just see where that takes us.
Yeah, and I think like when Jed in this episode talks about the people, you know, the swim team running back into the fire, you know, I think if we're talking about the American heroes running back into the fire, I think that is obviously the people who've taken to the streets in Minneapolis. That is the journalists who are continuing to cover what's happening right now, despite, you know, journalists having been jailed. And so I think as much as this is a really scary time, I think we can also talk about it as well being we are living in a time of American heroes in 2026.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with you. I think it's going to be interesting watching this season because it does feel, you know, the last election still feels very present in that I think it feels like we're living in a bit of a sliding doors moment of like, we're living in one reality, but like the other reality where Kamala won feels just as real to me. And it feels like it's just like existing on another timeline.
Yeah. God, it's interesting, isn't it? Would you like a moment of trivia?
Sure.
So Tyler, our good friend Tyler in his Jeep is played by an actor called John Gallagher Jr., who went on to be in Aaron Sorkin's series The Newsroom.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so that's a nice little bit of trivia to end on.
Fun. We are Queer Girls Watch, wherever you get your socials. We're Queer Girls Watch at Patreon, if you want to go and check that out. Thank you so much for listening. I'm assuming if you've listened to this episode, you've listened to 3 seasons of us chatting about the West Wing now. So thank you so much for being such a loyal listener. And stay safe out there. And we will be back for season 4, episode 3 next week.
Leigh, it's been wonderful. Always a pleasure. Never a chore. I'll see you next week.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
In a world of oversharing, dating remains sacred. Meet the new Ashley Madison. Discreet dating, no public posts, no feed. Adults connecting in private. Ashley Madison, blessed are the discreet. Download the app or visit ashleymadison.com/iHeartMedia.